All right, welcome back to another Revival podcast. We are super pumped to have Teagon here. Welcome, Teagon.
Thank you.
How was the drive down this time?
It was good. I did not hit a deer this time.
Didn't hit a deer. So yesterday, you should tell what happened yesterday.
I was supposed to come down yesterday, and as I was driving, I was just driving. It was darker. I was paying attention to the road, and then a deer just jumped in front of my car. Boom! Hit it. Flipped over. I actually have a voice message that I was sending to Ben at the time, so I have it on audio.
That's so funny. Yeah, well, then I get an audio message. I'm like showing up for the podcast. I'm like, oh, freak, dude, that sucks. But I thought it was in the test though, which it wasn't. So that's good.
No,
that's always good. Awesome, cool. We're super excited to have you. Before we jump into things, just a couple of shout outs as well as announcements. Okay, first shout out actually to this big guy right here. Top closer on the month right now. You're at 350K. What's your best closer month?
This one.
Yep. Dude, how's it feel?
Yeah, things are clicking and I'm enjoying it. It's a lot of fun.
It's always really fun when you get in a role and then you start to get some of those hat tricks and you're like, dude, next person I talk to, they're just gonna say yes because everyone says yes to me. That's awesome. Cool. So big shout out there. And then you wanted to shout out Jericho, right?
Yes, Jericho's at 150K for the month. Sounds like he's top rep in the company right now.
Yeah, top setter for this month.
Top setter for the company. So shout out Jericho.
Heck yeah, dude, working hard. You've been working with Jericho up there, right? What would you say is setting Jericho apart from the rest of the team?
Jericho does a really good job at connecting with people like right away. That's kind of his goal, I think, when he's talking to people. Is how can I connect with them? And as a closer, when I go into the appointments, I feel that they take it really seriously, right? So it's not just we're just, there's nothing relaxed about what we're doing.
Yeah.
It's very, one, he's very personable with them, but people take him as professional. And I feel that as a closer when I go into the appointment. And it actually helps a lot for the appointments.
That's awesome.
There's something that the way that he's communicating to them that they really acknowledge this is a good business opportunity for them.
That's sweet. Huge shout out, Jericho. That is definitely a skill that every sales rep needs to master, is like how you can connect really well on a genuine level with people right off the bat, because that's what sets the mediocre from the superior in sales. So that's cool. Last shout out that I have is Paul Segmiller, if Paul's listening. So Paul worked for us forever. Actually, he was one of the OGs. He started with us when we first started the company. He's my brother-in-law, and he was always our top rep in our first year. He did like $1 million in revenue as a setter. Like, freaking killed it, dude. Such an animal, super consistent. Anyways, he's been taking a break from the sales for a little while, but I invited him to come out on a little Denver blitz. Went out there, closed an 88K deal. So it's always nice to come back and get a fat paycheck right off the bat. So welcome back for a little while. Good job getting that fat deal out there in Denver. Couple of announcements. This one's actually, I'll do this in the other order. I was thinking about doing something else, but I wanted to announce the Revival Gives Back initiative that we're starting in November. So month of November is Revival Gives Back. It's a charity month for us. We really want to rally together as a company and give each other the opportunity to really express gratitude for what you guys have received and give back to the community. There's something really special about like acknowledging the fact that you're freaking lucky. Like every time I like sit down and really think about like my life and what I've received in the situation that I'm in, dude, I'm just like so grateful. Like we are in the top 1%. Like we really are. And the fact that you guys are here working at Revival right now, like consider yourself very, very lucky. Okay. Like you honestly won the golden ticket, the lottery, like working here. Like with the people that you're working with, the leaders that we have here are amazing. Okay. Teagon's amazing. Ben is amazing. Andrew is amazing. Like Ryan, amazing. We have such awesome guys that are going to help you at sales, right? That's part of their job. But like outside of that, it's like just that alone is invaluable. And then on top of that, the amount of money that we pay out to you guys is absolutely ridiculous. Okay. So like it is such a rare combo of healthy work environment, like an environment that helps you grow and stretch, as well as provides you an insane opportunity financially. And so if you really sit down and you understand like how grateful you are or should be, like it's hard not to feel obligated to give back. There are so many people out there that are just struggling, just barely scraping by in crappy work environments. It's like, it's the least that we can do to really like just pitch in a little bit, like give up your bonus for a month, give your next paycheck away, like whatever it is, whatever you guys feel prompted to do. But we are going to send out a form, and you guys as market owners will be talking about it a little bit more in your monthly reset meeting this week, or next week, I should say. But we're going to send out a form, just give you guys different ways that you guys can give back. And all of those proceeds are going to go to the local families who are really struggling financially. We're going to go, and these families also have really terrible windows, like massive holes in them and stuff, single pane, freezing. And we're going to help them out, and we're just going to replace their windows for free. If we have any extra proceeds for those families, we'll either support even more families or pitch in a little bit as well for their Christmas this year. So I'm super excited about that. Hope you guys can really get behind this and take up the opportunity to give back. And by doing so, the funny thing is you're going to receive even more. Like that is just a proven fact. Last thing I wanted to do is put in a little bit of just a small plug for the collective. Okay, I know. So Ben had gone on this, been part of the collective group. Andrew had been, Isaac had been. Anyone else that done it before? But I think that was it. Anyways, Ben convinced me to kind of jump into this group, and I did not know exactly what to expect. I thought I'd, have a few ways to level up my performance at work and some really good really good techniques to help teach reps that come to me that are kind of struggling and help break through their mental caps. Not at all what I got. Like that was a side effect of it. Like I definitely did get that benefit, but it's so much deeper than that. Like I really feel like I am Landon 2.0 sitting in this chair. Like I am a different human being.
That's cool.
And like my relationship with my wife and my love for just people, anyone that I come up in contact with, I just love them so much more. Just the experience of going into that group and being in a room full of a whole bunch of guys that are just so vulnerable and understanding like that people go through a lot of crap. It's crazy. It is crazy. Like me and James were like the only guys I feel like in that room that didn't have some super extreme, like traumatic background. I'm like, oh my gosh, like it's so eye-opening to understand that probably like the next person you come up to on the streets or on the doors, like they're probably going through a really hard time or have been through really hard times.
Yeah.
And I used to be just like a pretty judgmental guy, which I feel bad about, but that's just like, I was quick to judge people like in my mind, especially like on the doors walking up. I'm like, oh man, yeah, this, I don't know what this guy's doing, but I'm like, dude, I'm just like meet people where they're at and just love them. And I think that is, you reminded me of that when you're talking about Jericho. Like he has the ability to just connect with people fast. Yeah. It's like if you are wanting to be able to truly connect with people quickly, join the collective. Like it is a life-changing experience that will allow you to really ground yourself and like be true and genuine and no longer feel like you're just like putting on this mask or this facade in front of people in your daily interactions as well as on the doors. So, wasn't planning on putting this plug in, but like, yeah, cool. Go join the collective. CG5, I think the next one's going to be in like February. Then they're doing like one in March and then a midsummer one. But worth every penny. I would have paid, honestly, 10 times what I paid to go and join that group because of the benefits getting out of it. So you going to join the collective now?
Everybody's got me thinking about it. Sounds awesome.
Cool. Awesome. Okay, well, let's dive in, dude. So I remember when you first started at Revival. How long has it been now?
It's like
9 months.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Time flies.
Yeah,
Time flies. Take me back from before you joined Revival, though. Like, What were you doing, and did you ever feel like you would even be ending up in the sales industry?
Yeah. So, my wife and I, I had gotten back from my mission. My wife and I,
Where'd you
read
serve?
each other. New Zealand. Yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
Auckland.
It was
Dude,
awesome.
my second oldest brother served in Auckland,
Okay.
and I was so jealous, like all growing up,
Yeah.
because I had a lot of brothers that went before then, and no one else was going to New Zealand. I'm like, please, please, New Zealand.
Yeah.
So beautiful there.
It was amazing.
That's so
Yeah, it was
cool, dude. I'm jealous.
Yeah.
Okay, Auckland. Sorry.
So yeah, and I got back. My wife and I got married. And she's doing radiology
Mhm.
at Weber State, and I had been planning to. I was gonna join the football team, and so tried out, made it on. I was there for about a year, and I just kind of had this. It really ended up being a priority change.
Uh-huh.
Felt like God was pushing the priority change. I didn't really want to leave football. I had worked really hard to get to the point that I'm at. And yeah, I just kind of felt my priorities starting to shift. I felt like my desire to get into a home and start a family was greater than it was to, stay playing football. And not that I wouldn't have been able to do that with football. It just would have.
Sure.
And so that's not something that I was really willing to sacrifice at the time. And so I naturally start feeling all of my priorities changing. And the conversation came up of deciding to step away from football. And amidst that process, I had some really cool interactions with people. I was working at Verizon. I was just selling phones and phone cases, things like that.
Nice.
Different than this is for sure. And I started feeling pulled away from football, pulled away from that. And I had met a guy at Verizon, and he had offered me another sales job at a different company. And then I pulled up to park in the gym parking lot, and I look over, and there's a sticker on another car. It wasn't even my car, another car. I'm sitting there, my wife is next to me. I look over at it, and it says appointment setter. I knew it was door to door, and I'd never really considered doing door to door. It's just kind of like, well, maybe. And I was like, it's worth a shot. It's worth just seeing what it's like. So I scanned the QR code, and then Ben called me. I met with him, and immediately, the way that the first meeting that I had with him, it wasn't focused on how much money I could make. It wasn't focused on, anything like that. It wasn't even, we didn't even talk about the job. And I'm sitting here I want to know about the job.
Yeah.
But Ben he was just saying, I just want to know who you are. And for me, that meant a lot. It meant a lot for the leaders of the company the most important thing to them was to know who I was as a person and whether I would fit into that category of what they're going for. And so immediately it says a lot about what this company is going for me. So that hooked me, right? And then I finally made the decision to step away from football. It was a really hard decision. And then I pulled the trigger to come work here.
Yeah. So walk me through a little bit, because that is a big deal, working all probably through high school thing, and man, I'm going to do my best, work my butt off so I can compete and get into the college level. Yeah. And then you made it.
Yeah.
It's probably life dream come true, right? Playing that. And then after that time to step away, I want to just spend a little bit more time talking about that, what all of your thoughts, your feelings were, and what it was like stepping away.
Yeah. So kind of backstory for it. I grew up in a small town in Colorado, played 1A football. That was our classification. Mm-hmm. So small school. And I, over the years, I just learned to really not enjoy it very much, football. And then my parents said, hey, we're going to be moving right before your senior year. And I was like, dude, are you serious? I'm going to move before my senior year of high school. And so anyways, long story short, ended up being the best thing that could have happened to me. I moved out there, and I wasn't going to play football.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
I wasn't going to. The coach actually, Dave Valetti, he's the Springville High School head coach. He convinced me to play. He was also the wrestling head coach. I had wrestled my whole life. And he convinced me to play. And when I tell you that I learned to re-love the game of football, I relearned to love it. So I was like, man, this is so fun. So fun. The energy was different. The capabilities of the guys around me were different. And the energy was just so much different. And I just loved it. I ate it up. And, they had pushed me, go play. And so I didn't have any offers, nothing like that. But I told myself, you know what? I want to keep doing this because I love it. Mm-hmm. And so went on my mission. A few things happened in between there. Ended up going on my mission, came back. And all those years, just any kind of training that I did, it was really all geared towards that.
Sure.
And so I got to it and made it, and it was great. It was hard. It was really hard, especially as a walk-on, but I learned to just love it so much. And so all these years of feeling like that's what God was pushing me to do, and him sustaining me in that dream that I had, and then making it and being there for a time, and then all of a sudden it's like, let's go a different direction now. And I was like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Like, you've pulled me to this, I've been working so hard for this, and I learned to love a game that I lost a love for.
Yeah.
And so it meant a lot to me. And so when I start to feel myself pulling away from it, it hurt. Honestly, it hurt a lot. And it was hard for me to come to just to sit on that of, maybe God wants me to go a different route now. After all these years of preparing and things like that. Because I think it was 4 years after I graduated high school that I ended up getting on.
Jeez.
Yeah, and so it's like 4 years.
So much work.
Yeah.
Trying to get there. Oh my gosh.
And so it definitely, it was hard. And it was kind of a decision that I felt like I was twisting a knife in my own gut, for sure. But I knew that it was the right decision. And I also knew that God was going to sustain me in the decision as well.
Right. Because him pushing you, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And so, it hurt, but it felt right. You know what I mean? And so it was interesting, all of these different people that I talked to, even just random people that I talked to in the Verizon store. I was helping them transfer photos or something.
Yeah.
Conversations that I had with them, and then finding a QR code on there. And it kind of launched me into this spot of my life that was really uncomfortable, uncomfortable financially. Because, being a full-time student, full-time college athlete, and I was working, it was a tough situation. And so it was a big risk to hop into something that potentially can provide anything for a certain amount of time. Right?
Yes, really scary.
Yes,
really scary.
It was a big jump, but it felt right. And my wife was amazing in supporting me, and she believed in my capabilities.
Mm-hmm.
And she also believed in the way that you guys had approached me in the interview process. She believed in that a lot. And so it was a big deal to immediately, Heavenly Father put me in a position where I have another opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of been a pattern in my life. It's like, I'll lead you here. Let's cut it out. New opportunity, figure it out. You know what I mean? And so I was really grateful to have found a little QR code. And I think that Ben had paid a nephew or niece.
I think
just to go throw stickers on the windshield.
Flyers on there.
Yeah. Long story short, we're here, and I love it.
Yeah, dude, that's so cool. I love, I've had very similar experience, and I think a lot of us have, where God puts us on a path and we put our heads down, we work at that path, and we do the thing. And then he says, just kidding, opens another door, says, go this direction. Yes. But if we hadn't followed that first path and walked through that first door and answered the call, we wouldn't have been able to open the next door.
Yeah.
That door wouldn't have existed.
Yeah.
It's only by going through that first door that we can get to the second door and the third and the fourth. And life is all about just following God, right? Following what he's telling us to do. And I loved what he said, that it was scary, but I also felt very confident that God's got my back, because he was pushing me to do this, right? Yeah. And I'm grateful for my own relationship with God and testimony, that whatever I do, as long as I know that this is what he wants me to do, I don't have to worry. Yes, it's uncomfortable. Yes, it's scary. Yes, it's hard. But in the end, I know everything's going to be okay, because he wanted me to be there. He wanted me to do that, and it's going to mold me into something better. So this goes back to my all-time favorite quote. I probably mentioned it on every podcast. God's going to give you what you want, or he's going to give you something better. Have some faith, have some trust, and just walk through the door that he's opening for you. Yes. And you will never regret it. And so that's what you did, right? And now you're here, and we're so grateful to have you here. It's man, so probably the best guy that ever come from a flyer.
Yeah.
So
God sent.
That's what so let's talk a little bit then about your experience starting out here, because I remember distinctively, I was actually in the Provo airport, and I get a call from Ben.
Yeah.
And Ben's like, dude, this Teagon kid, like, he's so awesome. And I'd met you like once, like for like 5 seconds,
Yeah.
like hopped on and said hi. Because Ben had been talking about, he's like, dude, this awesome guy. He's so hardworking. He's perfect culture fit.
Yeah.
I know he can do well. And then this was like a couple weeks later, Ben calls him. He's like, dude, like Teagon is struggling. I know he can do well, but he's just like not getting the sales that he needs. And he's so stressed financially. And I think he's going to leave. I'm like, no, like whatever you need to do, like if you believe in him, Ben, like I saw that even just from what Ben was saying, like if you believe in Teagon and see his potential, like whatever we got to do, let's keep this guy here. We got to get him through this learning curve because he's got great things to do here at Revival. So walk me through on your end of that story, because I just remember that conversation, like airport bathroom, like, oh my gosh, like what are we going to do?
So I was really excited to start. And I was working really hard. Like I was doing, more than the standards set in place.
Yeah.
I was actually getting appointments to run. And so the first 2 weeks I was working really hard and just nothing. And coming from the position that I told you about, where financially it was, I came to Ben, I said, Ben, I want to be here, but I literally need to get something. Like I need to get something. And so I actually started, I went and kept doing like window cleaning. I would knock on people's door. Hey, I have window cleaning stuff. Clean your windows, like stuff like that. But it was my first 2 weeks, that I didn't get anything. And, it was a real stressor for my wife and I. Looking back, I'm like 2 weeks, that's not a long time. You know what I mean?
It feels like eternity.
It does.
Right?
It really does.
Especially when you're starting something new, you're like going all in, like, all right, this is where God wants me to be. And then you're like, wait a second. Does he actually want me to be?
Exactly. Yeah. And so it was an everyday, like, man, I was doing everything that I could. I was really grateful for boot camp, things that were in there, like the gratitude stacking, things like that, because it gave me tools to help me through that time, me through that hard time. Sorry. And, 2 weeks of just nothing. And it was really hard. It was really hard because I was like, I literally have bills that I have to pay. It's not just like, I don't really have any money. It was like, I like have to pay these bills and I don't have the money to do it.
Yeah.
And so that was the hard part. And then going into my third week, I got a 13K sale, and then
so just not too big, right?
Yeah. And then 2 days later, like 52K sale.
There you go.
And it was just like, holy cow.
Yeah.
It was just, I'm a big believer with this job. If you commit yourself to the process that you guys have found that helps you be successful, you get over time, you've found data, 40 decision makers every day. If you do that consistently, you will get paid and more, right? Also focus on the training, do all those things. And so I was doing that, and I just quickly realized, man, I've stuck to the process. The timing wasn't what I wanted, but it's paid out just what I needed and more.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was a really big deal for me. And I remember feeling really emotional about it because, it's what I needed to do, but I had you guys behind my back, pushing and saying like, we support you, we believe in you. And we also believe in our process. So stick to it and it'll pay out. And it 100% did.
Yeah.
100%. And that, I think where I'm at now, I was talking to, Caleb and Isaiah, 2 of our reps up in Caseville. I was talking to them last night, and I told them, I said, I correlate everything that I am doing now. I've been able to increase skills and things like that. I correlate everything that I can do now and that I am doing now to those 2 weeks where I wasn't getting anything, but I was still working hard. And I was still just committing myself to the process. And if I hadn't done that consistently over time, I don't think that I would be in that position that I'm in.
Yeah.
And a lot of it comes down to I believed in you guys. I was raised in a way of hard work. My dad, he used to say this to me all the time. Well, not all the time. I remember once distinct time, he had asked me to do something. He probably went to work, came back, realized I didn't do it. That's frustrating. And I remember him coming back, and I had an excuse as to why I didn't do it. Oh, I just couldn't figure this out, or whatever that was. And I remember him looking at me in my face and saying, if you really cared, you would figure out how to do it. And that hit, to this day, I think about it all the time. If you really cared, you would figure out how to do it. And I think about that all the time. If I really, really care, we'll figure out how to make it. And that's just kind of been like the theme since day one, and I've gotten that from you guys. If I really care about making my financial situation work, I'm going to figure out how to do it. Right. So that means training. It means talking to as many people as I can every day. And involving myself with people like you guys, like you and Ben, and help, progress that.
Yeah. Yeah. That's such a cool mentality. It's funny how there's like little snippets of life that like have such a huge impact. It's like your dad probably didn't think like, well, this is going to be the conversation that, like drives him for the rest of his life. But like that little phrase, like you've held on to that. And like that has been something that's so simple, but a powerful motivator for you throughout your life. That's really cool.
Yep.
That was really cool.
It's so Liz Wiseman, she did a BYU speech called The Power of Not Knowing. And in that she basically says, don't quote me on it. Basically, we're at our best when we don't know, right? We become creative of how we can figure things out because we don't actually know. But if we care, we'll really figure it out. The Kaysville office knows this is my favorite quote. It's from the Lorax. And it's unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not.
Wait, say that again.
Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. And he says it. And so that's actually become my favorite quote because like when my dad said that to me, and it's just stuck with me. And I really do believe that if we do really care, we'll figure out how to do it.
Yeah, I think that's so true, dude. It's like, everyone that I've seen that has succeeded and also in my own life, like you just gotta figure it out. Like I look at some reps and again, this isn't maybe the best thing, but like I look at some reps, I just get frustrated, like that they're not putting in the effort. Cause I'm like, dude, I know you can do it. Like, look at all these people that we've been able to get to do it. Like this is a process. Just trust it. Just trust the process and make it happen. Like put in the effort, like show up on time, like take it seriously. Like why can't you just do it? And probably God feels that way a lot for us too. It's like, look, I made the whole path. I gave you the prop. I gave you the scriptures. I gave you all these rules. And like, so simple. Just do it, right? And it's like, why? Yeah. And then we just keep doing stupid stuff and falling on our faces. And it can be really frustrating sometimes when people don't have that mentality of like, it's like, if I cared enough, like, I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah.
It can happen. I can make this work. Like have some confidence in yourself that you can get crap done.
Yeah.
Right. And that is really powerful. And that's something I've found over the past few years that like, I didn't used to think that like my mentality was anything special or unique. Just like my dedication and like sticking to something until I make it work.
Yes.
I didn't know that was unique, but actually it's very rare. Like to find people like you or like me where it's like, put your mind to it and make it happen. It's like, don't let the world dictate what is going to happen to you. But like you are actually, as a human being, like so powerful if you sit down and actually put your mind to something. Like you can literally do anything.
For sure.
So
for sure.
Cool. So, sorry, did you want to say?
Well, I just on the other piece of that aspect is this company in particular is created and set up in a way, and we have leaders like yourself, Ben, James, Bridger, all those guys who you guys have figured out a way to unlock that opportunity for people. So for me, I can really work on, if I really care, I'll figure out how to do it.
Mm-hmm.
But what I love about this company in particular is you guys allow us to just open up that lock so that can just flow, right? You can either get super complacent and learn to not care as much,
right?
Or you can go the opposite direction, right? And what I love about the way that you guys have created the company is it allowed me to open out and really just capitalize on the opportunity that Revival provides for anybody, but also just capitalize on the mental aspect of that. And that's just a beautiful part of this job, and the beautiful part of the company is it empowered me to do that, and still does.
That's really cool. And just a clarifying question on that, when you say like the system, the way that we've built it out has really allowed you to just like run with it and kind of unlock and let it flow.
Yeah.
What specific aspects of the company are you talking about? Are you talking about like when we rolled out the new like pay scale and like path of progression, or what
So,
exactly?
I mean, that's just one small example, really. Some of the biggest things is the preparation that I had going on the doors every day, right? I was, somebody hits me with an objection or a smoke screen. I have the tools to handle it, right? So I've been given the tools to handle it. So if I really care, I'm going to use the tools, right? And so that's what was so cool. I remember we did a little like interview, not like when I had first started.
Yeah.
And that was one of the biggest things that was always on my mind is I feel prepared. I feel prepared for situations because the training is it's on point. It's solid. It's there. It's so good. And even just outside of in-person training, we have everything that people can just turn to. If you have a question on the door, I can literally open up my phone and figure it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you guys have also provided an environment that, I could just give somebody a ring really quick. Hey, what's this? Run them through it. And that's, aside from the pay, all those things are extremely powerful, extremely unlocking. The way that you've provided a structure of preparation is I think it's the biggest way that you guys have.
That's awesome.
Unlocking. Yeah.
That's awesome. It's good to hear that. I like that because sometimes you like put in a ton of effort into something and you're like, I don't even use this. Like, I don't even know, man.
Yeah.
Does anyone actually use this? Is anyone actually grateful for this? So thank you. So when you were saying that, I was actually thinking back to a conversation that we had when we got those tacos.
Yeah.
Those tacos. So amazing. I got to go back out there. Anyone that doesn't know, it's like, what is that place called?
I don't know what it's called.
Dude.
It's at the Smith's
parking lot in Layton.
Right.
The best tacos you'll ever have. Yeah.
They're good.
It's the birria.
Yeah.
That's the type of taco. You got to get them, okay? So take that, write it down. Anyways, we were meeting up there and I remember like, I felt like there was a huge shift since the last time I like talked to you.
Yeah.
And it was not that long after we had rolled out the new like recruiting structure and like growth within the company.
Yeah.
And I feel like that was a really cool conversation to have with you. And you weren't the only person that I saw this in.
Yeah.
But I feel like your mentality totally shifted because before it was like, hey, path progression, setter, closer, and then eventually, hopefully, maybe market owner, right? And then it's like, hey, this is it and this is how you do it. Have at it, right? Like anyone can get there. And then all of a sudden you're just like, all right, dude, like I'm going to lock in. Yeah. I'm going to make it happen, right? If I care, I'm going to make it happen. Yeah. And like your eyes are set on like, taking over for Ben's office. You're like, dude, I don't care what anyone else says. I'm going to run this office. And you were like, so determined. I love like seeing the drive, seeing the fire. That is a very rare characteristic. So that's pretty sweet, dude. Yeah. Now, oh man, what was I gonna? Oh yeah, I wanted to dive in, pick your brain a little bit. As a setter, because you're a really awesome setter. You're a great closer, and you're a really awesome setter as well. And most of the guys watching this are setters, and so I want to do them a favor and kind of dig behind the mentality. Because just to say like, hey, if I care, I'm gonna make it happen. Yeah. That's one thing, but I want to know like what, for example, was your daily routine, like going out there on the doors, like just walk me through your mentality and your routine.
To kind of like preface, I mean, the setters, this is a job that beat me to my knees. Like this, it's a hard job. It really is a hard job. And I had, so during boot camp, which is just like the extra training you get in your first couple of weeks, we did this activity called gratitude stacking. In there, we take past things that we're grateful for, current things we're grateful for, and future things that we'll be grateful for. And then you mix them up, right? And so
this is like my favorite.
It's so good.
I'm a huge law of attraction guy. Yeah,
it's so good. And I, before I would go out and knock, I would. Now, obviously, I wasn't perfect. Some days I missed it.
Sure.
Before I'd go out and knock, I would read those. One was like have an average of making $18,000 a month. I'm grateful for where I grew up, grateful for things like that, grateful for my wife, things like that. So I go through all of that. I would always, before I went out and knocked, I'd always say a prayer. Prayer was, lead me to the people who are in need of new windows. That helped my mindset go from I need to how can I find, because
What can I give?
yeah, it's such a good opportunity that we're actually offering.
Yeah, it really is.
It really is. And the more that you're in the industry, the more you realize that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do that. And then I had a song, Count My Blessings by Steph Schuster or something like that. I don't know his last name. Really good song. Basically, he's just talking about like, no matter how little I have, I'll be counting my blessings, you know, and I have so many blessings, I can't count them all, type of a thing.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'd do those 3 things before I'd knock. If I was really struggling, I would listen to the song again. And then before I went home, like literally I'd stop at my house. Before I went in to see my wife, I would do the same thing, so that anything that I was struggling with here, it wouldn't be as easy to carry into my home. Right.
That's awesome.
Now there's that aspect of it. There's also the aspect of just, you know, even when it's really hard to keep going, even when my hands are literally frozen and my feet are drenched in the snow because I started in the winter.
Those are the good days.
Even during those times, this is my job, and there's a job that needs to get done. So I'm just gonna do it. I have to do it, so I'm going to do it, and I'm not going to let up. I've been asking the Kaysville office question. I have it written up on the board. Are you doing everything you can to achieve what you say that you want? And when I look back at that time, that's what I consider. You know, I'm doing these gratitude stacking things. I'm listening to the songs, and that really, really helps on the spiritual, emotional side of things. But then as I'm on the doors and people are, you know, being jerks to me, it's something that I'm able to turn back to. But I also, Kaysville office, they're like, we hear this all the time. For me, what I found, it's practice discipline. Now, I'm not perfect at it. Nobody is. That's not what I'm saying. But what I found is that the more that I pushed through, the easier it was to push through. So, you know, a day I'm at, you know, I've done 45 decision makers. I talked to 45 people and I haven't said anything.
Mm-hmm.
It's a rough day. It's a long day. Am I going to leave until I set somebody? Sometimes I did, sometimes I didn't. But as you practice the discipline of, I'm going to keep going, I found that was kind of my mindset. I gotta push through where it's harder, and I'll be able to push through what's even harder than the next time.
Yeah.
And so, you know, if you're struggling to get 40 decision makers every day, you're averaging getting 27, whatever it is. Practice that discipline of getting 5 more. Spend time to get 5 more, you know, and just increase that. And then it gets to a point where pushing through those harder times, it's actually not as hard.
Yeah.
And then what's cool is that there's always going to be something else to push through, whatever it is, you know. I've been pushing through, getting 40 DMs. Oh, great, the Colts came. So now I got to figure out how to get 40 DMs in the Colts, whatever it is. But I think between the gratitude stacking and those little rituals that I had before, sometimes in between and after, and just, you know, having the mentality of I have a job that needs to get done. And so I just have to keep my head down and I have to keep knocking. And I trusted that in the training that I had received and that I was putting my own efforts into, that my efforts were going to pay off. The biggest thing that came out of that was just more discipline through hard times.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I'd say that was the biggest thing that helped me through all of it was having those little things that helped me having more of a service mindset, which is hard to do, especially when you're not performing, right? But it was really good for me to be able to really just hone in on the practice discipline side of things. And also a little bit aspect of just not knowing, you know, that helped me to just, you know, push and figure it out.
Yeah, I love that. And remind me, what was the thing you wrote on the board is, are you doing everything?
Yeah. Are you doing everything you can to achieve what you say that you want?
Yeah, dude. So I love that. I don't usually do this, but everyone watching, like, pause this podcast and just think about that question for a minute and maybe like write down a few things that you feel prompted to change or do if you don't feel like you're doing everything that you can to achieve what you're wanting.
Yeah.
That is powerful. That is a very powerful activity to do a lot of self-reflection and be real with yourself. Okay. Don't don't lie to yourself and say, oh yeah, dude, I'm working my butt off. It's like, no, like, are you really doing everything in your power? Make it happen.
Yeah.
Right.
It humbles me every time every time I go through that, it humbles me every time.
Yeah, that's cool. I'm going to do that. And then my last question, I wanted to actually talk for a second and just touch on a little bit of what you said about like knocking through the hard times, because it's not like always easy and sometimes it's freezing cold. I feel like a lot of times people look at the top performers, the top reps, and like, dude, he has it so easy, right? Yeah. He's so good at his job. His job is so easy, right? He just goes in, like, everyone he talks to, he sets. But like, that's actually not the reality. It's easy to perceive it as that.
Yeah.
But like the people that are really good at this job, they are really good at being comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Right. Getting out there, staying out when it's freezing cold, when you know everyone else is sitting in their car, warming up with the heaters, like they're out there. They were prepared. They brought hand warmers.
Yep.
They've got 2 layers of gloves.
Yes.
They bought themselves a nice warm coat, wool socks, leggings, pants, like everything. Cause like, no, like I know it's gonna be freaking cold out there today, and I know it's gonna suck, and my fingers are gonna feel like they're gonna fall off. I got freaking boogers dripping out of my nose. Like, but I'm gonna stay out there. I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Like that's where the people that do well in this job really take a leg up on the people that don't, is because like they're committed to working hard through the hard. So that's cool. And then last thing I want to kind of ask you, sounds like your kind of life as a setter did really well. Is there anything that you'd say like has led to your success as a closer outside of what we've already talked about? Any mentalities there, or any actual like logistical tips or tricks that you would?
Yeah. So it's actually been kind of fun. So Jake, he was on the podcast last week.
Yeah.
He came in and he's a big like sales guy, just through and through. He's really good at sales, and he understands a lot of just principles as far as sales go. And there were certain we'd be talking about certain appointments, and there would just be little like principles that he would just kind of like toss in there. And I kind of started to implement them a little bit. Mostly what they are is basically helping people be in a mindset of just helping them to be able to make a decision, right? Which is it's a really empowering thing to help people learn how to make decisions. Yeah. And so, just little things, hey, if you like the window and price works for you guys, is there anything that would keep you from moving forward today? And what it does is it allows us to be able to help them properly, and also helps them to be able to be in a position where they want to make a decision, and they can make a decision. And it's that can just be really empowering. But the mentality of what I'm offering to people is very beneficial, right? And as you're in the industry, this for sure. What windows could actually provide for a home is substantial. Oh yeah. And when we come into it with a really good window and a really good price point, the mentality is so easy to, it just makes it easier for us to be able to push it and to say, this is a really good opportunity for your place. One of the big things for me recently has been learning to be fluid with the people that I'm with, and being personal with them. Every appointment that you go into is going to be different. 100%. It'll be totally different.
Yeah. You see some crazy stuff as a center, but you see some really crazy stuff as a closer, right?
Yeah.
The super side tangent. Yeah. I'm actually just curious, like, what is the craziest situation you've been in as a closer, or like the most nuts home or environment, I guess?
Yeah.
I know you haven't been closing for super long yet, so maybe you have anything super cozy.
I was in a home one time that had they had 18 cats through the whole place.
Correct.
Yeah, well, it was just different. It was different for sure.
That was so gross, dude.
And that wasn't. I'm not a huge cat person. For sure.
I'm allergic. So mine was kind of similar, but maybe a little bit worse. And I've been in multiple homes like this, but I remember the first time I was in a home, I walked in, and dude, just immediately, just a wall of like stench, right? You're like, rap, dude. You have to like breathe through my mouth, but you're trying to like put on this face, right? Like, hey, everything's good. Like, I'm so excited for you.
Yeah.
And then, so the upstairs wasn't actually terrible in this house. You could smell like what is happening in this house. And they had dogs, quite a few dogs and some cats and stuff. And then I get up, we're measuring windows, and I walk downstairs, dude. Gosh. And there is just like dog crap everywhere.
No.
All over the floors, pee everywhere. And it was actually so sad. Like I probably should have called child services on this family, but I didn't because I sold them and I wanted to get paid. It's just terrible. But like, yeah, I walked down there and there's like a kid like sitting on his bed, like playing video games in this like dark dungeon. And like, there's literally like pee, poop, like on the bed. And this kid is like very like, ugh, like greasy, everything. The blinds are all ripped down. Like it was a horror scene down there. And I was like, holy crap, how can people live like this? And yet she still bought windows. So I'm like, dude, I probably should have sold her windows actually. Now that I think about it. But yeah, so that was one of the crazier places I've been in. But I've actually been in multiple of those where you go down in the basement. You're like, oh, this is a dungeon. I hope I come out of here alive. You know, it's like eerie hallways, poop everywhere, the dim lighting, scratched doors. You're like, oh, freak. Like, I'm just gonna like, yep, I think that's 23 by 47. I'm out of here. Anyways, that's fun.
Yeah.
Bringing it back. That was total tangent. Shoot, what were we talking about a second ago? I was asking you about
Talking about closing stuff.
closing. And
I had something come to my mind.
Yeah.
So, when it comes to closing, one thing that really helps with my mentality, so it's especially in the home, it's totally a transfer of energy, a transfer of emotion.
Yeah.
And when it comes to, so we'll do the price presentation.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to, we help people understand the market for the type of window that we carry.
Right.
And having that mindset of this is like, truly, this is the market for this window. And helping people to understand that. So I'm doing the price presentation. It's not like, oh yeah, dude, like this, like Pella and Anderson, they're expensive. Huh? That's not what it's about. It's this is the market for these windows that I've shown you. And then being able to show them a price that's so nice compared to that, you know, with in-house installation, just everything around it, is very nice. But the way that found to do the price presentation is in a very confident manner, because I am confident in it now. I'm confident in the price point. I'm confident in the quality. And so now it's, look, this is what you could pay. We're here. Help us with advertisement. We'll get you a really good deal.
Yeah, that is a really fun spot to be in once you've been in the industry long enough to really feel confident in what you're offering. Because at the beginning, you're like, all right, is this just like a sales gimmick? It's just like, is this a pitch that they gave me? And I'm just going to like believe it and be confident in it.
Yep.
But then as you like start to sit down as people, I'm like, oh yeah, that's exactly what they quoted me. Oh yeah, that's exactly what they quoted me. It's like, oh, actually, they quoted me even more than that. You know, it's like, we're actually offering a freaking awesome opportunity for these people that need windows. It's such a cool job. It is such a cool job. It's unlike a lot of sales jobs where it really is like, all right, did they actually need over $1,000 worth of pest control?
Yeah.
Or did I just totally rip them off? You know, it's like, so that is
truly is your best bang for buck. Which I like that.
Yeah, me too. Last thing I wanted to touch on that you kind of brought up is the opportunity. I think this is Jake was kind of giving this advice. Your opportunity as a closer to really just help people make decisions. And it's like that mindset shift. And that's what I always love coaching closers on, especially like if you get through your pitch, you get to price, and then you see some like hesitancy, and then a lot of closers, and it always like hurts me when I hear that closers are doing this. They're like, cool, sounds like you guys need some time to think about it. I'm just going to hop out of my car, make some phone calls, and let you guys talk it over. I'll be back in. And I'm like, dude, like, this is your moment. Like, this is your moment. Like, you're the most qualified guy out there because you've helped hundreds of other people already make this exact decision that they're trying to make with very similar things that they're weighing out. Hey, we've got the roof, we've got this, we've got that. Here's our finances. Here's what we can do.
Right.
It's like you have all the info to help them make a smart, educated decision and just like almost like counsel them through it. Like, And if you're a good closer, like if it's actually not a good opportunity for them, you're gonna tell them that, and that's okay. Like that's part of just being like honest and genuine with people. And if people feel that, they're gonna trust you, and they're gonna understand that, like more likely than not, it actually is a good idea for them to buy windows.
100%. Yeah,
so that's cool. Just a little tidbit. I always like to train on closers and stuff.
Yeah, it's really. I had an example yesterday. He needed windows really bad, and he's been wanting them for a long time. When I showed him the number, he said, "But I could tell that he was really battling with it." He's like, "I know I need windows. I've had a bunch of other companies come by, and like this is a really good deal. You know, even door-to-door companies that come by, because this is amazing." And so he was really battling with it, and I kind of had to like just take a step back. My goal with him was like, and I told him this, my goal is to be able to help you make the correct decision for you and your family. Right? We know you need windows. We know you really want windows.
Right.
But what's most important is that you're not taking food off the table by getting windows in your ear.
Yeah, exactly.
And I asked him directly. I said, is this going to put you in a position where other things that are most important, like food on the table, things like that, is this going to put you in an awkward position for those things? He said, I think it will. I said, okay. I said, so let's fulfill a need. Let's do part of the windows, and we'll fulfill the need, gives you a number that's easier for you, that you can still fulfill the need of the windows, but also feel more comfortable with putting food on the table for your family. And we were able to find a number that he was like, I'm so happy with that. So happy with that. And it worked out really well. And so rather than pushing for, I want the full house, I want the full 30K deal, I recognized the need of, he's battling, sacrificing a lot of new things in his life that shouldn't be sacrificed, but he does need the windows and he does really want them. So let's make it work. Let's make it work for our business. Let's make it work for you and your home.
Yeah.
And that's been a big thing that I think has helped, and that transfer of emotion helps people to be able to make a decision. And so, it was good.
That's really cool. Yeah, there's not a lot of, I'd say majority in the industry, honestly, that are in closing and in sales, like a little bit greedy, and they'll just get the sale no matter what it's going to do to the person on the other side. It's just very like transactional.
Yeah.
So I don't ever want anyone at my company, doing that. Like it's all about like being real, helping people. We want to actually help people. We don't want to hurt people. So good on you. Make sure you're always in that mentality. Cool. Awesome. Well, I think we're out of time, but dude, it's been super fun having you on here.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. All right. Signing off.